Welcome to another video of EW Mania. We are back with some of the interesting gossips, rumors, and news around the AEW brand. In this video we will see WWE legend gives props to AEW star CM Punk for venturing into UFC. AEW star discloses what Edge told him backstage on WWE SmackDown. Top AEW star shares details on how Chris Jericho influenced the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, and Chris Jericho claims to have filed a restraining order against popular AEW star. Make sure to leave a like to the video and also subscribe us if you haven't already. So now let's dive into our video. First of all, we will see top AEW star shares details on how Chris Jericho influenced the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Matt Hardy recently disclosed on his podcast that Chris Jericho urged AEW to organize the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. The tournament was established in September 2021 to pay tribute to the late Owen Hart. There were sets of qualifying, quarterfinal, and semifinal rounds for men and women, with two surprise jokers. The finals will occur at EW Double or Nothing 2022 on May 29th. The winners will receive a trophy named the Owen. Speaking on the extreme life of Matt Hardy, Matt said Jericho was the one who made the tournament a reality. He added that the Wizard served as a bridging gap for EW and Owen's family, especially his wife, Martha.
I heard about it from Chris Jericho. He was kind of the guy who made this a reality in a lot of ways. He was like the inner connection between Martha, the family, and AEW. I know he talked about things they were wanting to do, and it just sounded so cool. And he knew I was one of the guys who worked with Owen and knew him personally. So he was pretty excited to share that, and I thought it was a very cool detail.
News regarding Chris, as he claims to have filed a restraining order against popular AEW star. Chris Jericho has taken to Twitter to berate his AEW rival Eddie Kingston, going so far as to claim he has filed for a restraining order. Jericho has been at war with the Mad King since AEW Revolution. The two faced off at the event after weeks of back and forth with Santana and Ortiz caught in the middle. After Kingston defeated Y2J, Jericho went back on his word and refused to shake the hand of his foe. Following Revolution, Jericho turned to the dark side and debuted his new faction, the Jericho Appreciation Society, with Daniel Garcia and 2.0 by his side. The former AEW champion has made it his mission to destroy both Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful. The rivalry continued this week as the Jazz Patriarch took to Twitter with a claim that he'd filed a restraining order against his rival. No surprise, because you sir are a goon. I've also filed a restraining order. Stay home, Kingston, and say hi to your wife for me. While Kingston is still recovering from Jericho's fireball attack, fans know that it will take a lot more than a restraining order to keep him away. Meanwhile, Jericho took the fight to Santana during this past week's Dynamite, defeating his former Inner Circle stablemate in just under 10 minutes. Now let's talk about some cross-brands gossips, as AEW star discloses what Edge told him backstage on WWE SmackDown. AEW star Swerve Strickland recently shared details on what WWE superstar Edge told him when he was with the company. During his tenure with WWE, Strickland was part of the group hit Raw in NXT with AJ Francis, Tahiti Miles, and Brianna Brandy. While with the group, he won the NXT North American Championship against Bronson Reed on the June 29th episode of NXT. During his appearance on Talk is Jericho, Swerve said Hit Row got asked to cut an impromptu promo to see how they'd fare on the main roster.
The first thing was, like, when we did the draft, we were there in Baltimore. We did a dark match, and we had AJ wrestle Cedric. But before that, we had a 2-minute promo live. Like all four of us, they just want to see how we interact, and stuff like that. They didn't even ask to hear it. They was like, oh no, you got 2 minutes, do your thing. Very rare for all four of us, 4 people with a microphone.
The current AEW star added that Edge heaped some praise on Hit Row after their promo, saying it was fresh and new.
We just, had some lines tucked away so 2.5 minutes literally ... And then we wrapped it up, and then they had the match. And everything. Edge was one of the first few to greet us in the back. We need this product. We need this on this brand. You know, this is a great content that we need. It's young. It's hip. And then we're like, oh cool.
Now let's conclude our episode with the last news as WWE legend gives props to AEW star CM Punk for venturing into UFC. Matt Hardy recently opened up about AEW star CM Punk's notorious transition from pro wrestling to MMA in 2014 to 18. After the straight-edge superstar quit WWE, they're up on pro wrestling as well entirely. He tried his luck in the world of MMA. Punk fought 2 matches under the UFC's umbrella, the first against Mickey Gall and the other against Mike Jackson in his final outing. Despite a valiant effort, the Second City Saint lost both his bouts, though his last match's result was overturned to a no contest after his opponent tested positive for marijuana. Speaking on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, one half of the Hardys revealed that he was genuinely happy to see CM Punk back inside the squared circle last year. Matt further lauded the voice of the voiceless for venturing into the MMA world, which is something he couldn't have dared enough to do.
For me personally, I'm happy to see Punk back in wrestling. Hardy said, I think CM Punk is just a fantastic pro wrestler. I feel like he belongs in pro wrestling. I give him all the credit in the world for venturing out into the UFC. That was amazing. I wouldn't have done it even if I felt like I could have. I wouldn't have been that brave or courageous. It took a lot of courage for him to do that.
The Broke One also hailed CM Punk as the greatest of all time. Matt asserted that the latter's feud against MJF proved that the star had rekindled his love for the business.
He's one of the greatest pro wrestlers of all time. For him to come back to AEW and be happy, and once again be fueled by such great passion, and have this great program with MJF, and also write these love letters to the legends who kind of paved the way for him and all of us. I think it's been great. Punk just seems like he's very happy to be back, which is nice.
That's all we have for today's video. If you enjoyed our new style of delivering the content, do give this video a like. Also make sure to subscribe the channel to hear more from us. With this, I wish you a good day and happy Mother's Day.